Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my sacred space. I've got my Mama Bear PJs on today because I had to do laundry. So it's been kind of a comfortable, lazy day. And again, as I'm guided to share, usually my daily experiences or the day before experiences on my daily YouTube videos. So this is day 20 for FreQSpeak. So day 20 of 111 days of sharing my real raw frequency and energy with you, the collective. You'll probably hear the kiddo squealing in the background, but again, we're keeping it real. We're keeping it raw. We're keeping it authentic. I may be doing some light language after this video, so look for that. Just trying to feel into what I'm guided to share today. But again, using life experiences on these videos because, again, that's what we're here. To share our life experiences, to share our journey, to share insights and different things that might help you, the collective, on your journey and your experiences and what you're going through in this now present moment. And again, these videos are always timeless. They will reach you exactly when they are supposed to reach you. Okay, so hopefully everyone's doing well. Again, just put a little more of my cinnamon, clove bud, and tangerine spray on. Pretty lazy day today. Didn't leave the house. We got, how many inches of snow, buddy, did we get?
5 or 6.
I think we got 5 to 7 inches of snow here. So I really done anything. So I thought maybe I was gonna go for a walk, but he's home. He came home this morning. Normally he comes home in the evening on Sundays, but Dad had a situation, so that's kind of what I've been guided to address, and that's detoxification and what your human vessel, your avatar, is going through. It's going through and going to be expressing detox symptoms, and that can show up in a range of things. And I'll try to touch on the most common ones, and forgive me if I forget any. Because there's such a range for many, many different people, and depending on the level of your toxicity. And when I mean toxicity, I'm not just talking about environmental toxins or food toxins. I'm also talking energetic toxins and things that you could be detoxing from this lifetime energetically, from trauma and things. Like toxicity in the body can come up in many ways, and it also can come up from past life stuff too that can erupt through the skin. So I will share my personal experience during this window, these windows of when my body has gone through upgrades and changes. There's a detox or a purging process. Okay, and for me, my main symptoms are hair. So this was a new one. I didn't think about that. I mean, I should know this, but there was a period where my hair was shedding a lot, not just because it's long. There was a period where it was just like excessively shedding. And I actually saw a video the other day that's part of these downloads, these upgrades, these light codes, the information that we're receiving from the sun and everything energetically, but also from 3i Atlas because it is intelligent. It's higher consciousness. So hair loss a little more. It slowed down. Like I heard this way after I was noticing this particular symptom that's been mostly like in the past 6 to 9 months, like noticeably. But I've mentioned hives are a big symptom for me. And usually if I get my hives, it's on my upper back, my back of my shoulders, maybe down here, and maybe sometimes in here. And they would come and go. For years before I understood what was going on, my avatar upgrading and going through this awakening process, that was part of it. I didn't know it then, I know it now. Kind of looking back, and I've gone through waves. So there was a wave where I wasn't experiencing it, and then I had waves where they would come in, and you could never pinpoint it actually for a while. And again, always see your doctors. I gotta say all that disclaimer. If you feel like you need to go get checked out, but just know if they're not finding something wrong, more than likely it's part of what's going on, these upgrades, these changes, these detoxes, all of the stuff that our human is going through. We're evolving into a completely different species, and we all made the choice to incarnate at this particular time. There's no coincidences. Okay, so hives, breakouts, and usually my breakouts would be chin area. So definitely I've had major throat chakra clearings and activations over and over and over and over and over and over and over again for a while, a few years. But so throat chakra, teeth issues, breakouts, on this side, you can just tell dental stuff, or like just, and these can be like just regular breakouts, but these were more like cystic, so they were like more like fluid red, itchy, and uncomfortable. So if anyone's experiencing that, that's definitely part of this upgrading your body, detoxing debris. And remember, it's like sloughing off layers. So I'm very familiar with detox protocols. I say this all the time. And there's many layers to go deep. and some of us are going like so deep that it's so embedded in our cellular DNA, in the molecular structure of our body, and our bones and our joints and our leg. Those things are coming up and it's going to come out. So remember, when you detox, it's in layers. But if you detox and then you go back to same patterns, whether it's eating patterns or living patterns, cleaning stuff, going back to environments that are toxic, whether it's energetic toxicity, cleaning toxicity, work environment toxicity. Do you see what I'm saying here? You're just basically not going any deeper than that layer. But with a lot of us now, where we're at, we're actually going more than just a few layers deep, and that's coming out. Also, I've mentioned in past videos a lot of breakouts in my head, and that's not very common, like my crown chakra, like back here in my third eye. So it would range back here in the back of the neck, which is still throat chakra area, and then up and around the crown. And then I've had a few on my forehead, which is also weird and weird, but that's again third eye. Okay, so you might get dry, itchy skin. I've had that many times, or just feel itchy. Blocked lymphatic systems, maybe purging, whether that's your kidneys or your colon is purging. So that could go either way with the colon. It could go constipation or diarrhea. So again, the digestive system, the solar plexus, and the sacral chakras have been cleared and cleansed and activated and upgraded and all of that. So you could be experiencing digestive issues and food sensitivities and all of that. So that's just a few off the top of my head that I can think of. If there's any more, I will put those out. But those are mine personally. So what happened with my son's father, who's kind of on the other end of the spectrum when it comes to all of this, I will share, like I said, authentically, and he just kind of looks at me or gets really triggered. His ego gets really triggered. His small self gets really triggered anytime I mention certain holistic. That's why our kiddo doesn't get sick, is because I practice very, holistic living. We don't clean with cleaning products. We don't use medications unless it's an emergency situation. We use essential oils. We use things like vinegar. We don't use bleach, we don't take Tylenol or ibuprofen, again, unless it's an emergency situation. But if it's an emergency situation and we're put in a place where we have to have medications from pharma, I know how to detox those out of the system once they've helped, whatever. Suppresses it, basically. Cough syrups and things like that, all of that stuff. Just they're getting better at making dye-free and more, they're making better options. But again, it's always going back to nature, learning to work with herbs and tinctures and oils and food as medicine, because it's medicine. Okay, those are just toxic substances that your body's going to have to detox from again and again and again. So what happened was his dad called me last night and said he had something going on with a lymphatic system or an ingrown hair or whatever it was. There was something going on that was uncomfortable and painful. Again, it's your lymph system. So make sure that you're moving your lymph system, whether you're rubbing or using gasha tools or just using your hands in your lymph nodes, which is your armpits, down your legs and in your groin, jumping on a rebounder, walking, making sure that your lymph system is constantly being moved, because it's static. It doesn't have a way to move. And the more static your lymph is, the more sick you're going to be, the more symptoms you're going to have, whether you get a severe illness, a mild illness, or just like blockages. Okay, hot Epsom salt baths are great to move just different things. Sweating, there's so many different ways you can check that up in your browser on what. I'm just giving you a few that I use. Like I said, the rebounder, jumping, moving, pouncing, shaking, dancing, that'll move the lymph system as well. All right, so what happened is, and I said, yes, it sounds like an ingrown hair, maybe a cyst-like thing, but when I looked at it, it was really red and it wasn't super raised. And he uses traditional deodorant, which is highly toxic. I recommend everyone that is using any form of deodorant that is got aluminum or any other toxic chemicals, fragrances, get them out. You should not be putting that shit on your lymph nodes. And again, that's another way for certain higher up or businesses, you know what I'm saying? If you know, it's getting you loaded with toxins. And if you have toxic overload, that creates dis-ease in the body. And there's many, many levels to that, okay? So get rid of the deodorant. There's many, many options out there. Now, more holistic naturals. And the next thing is if you stink, it's because you're toxic. So sweat is, you want to be sweating. So if you're stinking from any parts of like a lymph system, like your armpit, your groin, just different areas of the body, it's because your body's trying to get these toxins out of your system, okay? More than likely, you've got blockages in your system. And so that's, I couldn't tell you the last time I wore deodorant. It's been a long time. I have natural deodorants in the house, and I actually gave him some today to use. But you got to get it out. You got to get anything that goes on this vessel, you have to make it as whole and real and natural as possible. Whether it's like just coconut oil, jojoba oil, castor oil for the moisturizing skin. You can zhuzh that up with your favorite essential oils, whatever works well with your skin. Hair products, same thing. Natural soaps. And you don't stink. We don't stink. We don't stink. I've had people say my 12-year-old boy who runs and sweats from time to time, he doesn't smell. So if your teenagers are smelling, there's a problem. Can you say hi? Yeah. Okay.
Did you say about stinky?
Yes, you're fine. And he doesn't smell, right? And you know what a teenage boy smells like. So we'll see what happens as he gets older. But again, because he eats in a particular way and we don't overload his system with toxins, I know when he comes back from dad's, if he's had things like donuts or chips or different things like that, because he comes home broke out. How do you fix that? Coconut oil, castor oil, one or the other. Castor oil is a little thicker. Coconut oil is our favorite go-to, and then some tea tree oil. Usually they're gone within a day if he looks like he's starting to get some red spots. There you go. You can also use that as a deodorant option too. You can use some little coconut oil and a little essential oils if you want to. So what I told him, he ended up going to ER, and they ended up giving him antibiotics because he had open heart surgery at 15. So infections to his heart is a real thing. It can be a problem. But I gave him some tea tree oil, like coconut oil, and I said, no more deodorant. That needs to go in the trash. Here's this. But again, while you're healing, don't put anything on it. Just use coconut oil and essential oils. And then, of course, they gave him a round of antibiotics, which fucks your gut up. Again, but that's your choice, right? But knowing how to detox from that. When I had my hysterectomy, I already knew detox protocol, so I detoxed from the anesthesia and the meds from that, like that. After having him, I didn't follow a really good, like it's like my brain went, and so I didn't detox. I didn't have a good detox protocol set up when I had him, and of course when I had my daughter, I had no clue of any of this stuff at the time. So I know how to detox anesthesia, because anesthesia and certain medications, we'll use anesthesia as an example. Yes, you needed to have major surgery, but it also can last into your system up into months depending on how your detox pathways. If your detox pathways are not open, thank you. If your detox pathways are not open, that's a problem. What are your detox pathways? Your lymph system, being able to sweat, your colon is functioning properly, your kidneys are functioning properly, your liver is not clogged up. These are your detox pathways, okay? And sometimes people don't know that their detox pathways are clogged until they have 1, 3, 4, 4 on the clock, until they have a major dis-ease in their system, okay? Outside of just mild breakouts or some rashes or skin issues. And again, why are you experiencing that more and more? Because again, you're getting these light codes, you're getting these downloads, you're getting these upgrades, you're awakening dormant things in your physical body. You are evolving, right? Our physical bodies are literally metamorphosizing from the inside out. So you're going to experience these. And he put himself, he almost had, in the 1-4-2-2 on the clock early, I think in the spring, he created a major problem and ended up with a bacterial skin infection that almost went to his heart and could have killed him.
What?
Because he left it untreated, kept scratching and picking at it. He didn't tell me about it until he ended up in the ER. But your body's giving you symptoms before it gets really bad. So it's good that he stepped up and caught it before it was worse this time. But last time he put him in the hospital for like a week. Okay, so just these are just examples. Okay, and I'm just giving you these examples. Okay, so I had another conversation with him, and I told him, and I'm going to tell you this: if you don't change things in many different ways, you are going to get more and more uncomfortable, whether that's you're not removing certain people, places, or things out of your life that you need to be removed, or they need to be put on pause, or you need to set up firmer boundaries, or if you're continuing to eat the stuff, drink the stuff, clean with the stuff, bathe in the stuff, lather yourself up in the stuff, your body's, it can't keep up. It can't keep up with everything that we're doing to upgrade and to integrate. And then you're putting all of these things that you've done for years continuously on your system, on your operating system. So start removing things slowly. Okay? So remove the things. You have the choice. You can take control and choose not to eat that, not to drink that, not to do this, not to put the perfume stuff on your skin, using the smelly body sprays, using the air fresheners, using those freaking plugins. Thank you, bud. You know, all of these things are creating more, it's toxic overload. You have toxic overload. And then not to go into the depth of what they've been spraying on us for decades. It's really been bad in the last, I'm gonna say 10 to 20 years, for sure in the last 10 years, and really bad in the last 5 years. So you're getting bombarded with toxins from all over, okay? So you've got to get the toxicity load down so your system can do what it needs to do. It's a very intelligent operating system. It is consciousness. It is consciousness, okay? And take a quick look at what's going on. How is your operating system functioning for you? Mental fog, hormonal issues, sleep issues, digestive issues. There's all sorts of things. And if you haven't noticed already, and I still keep saying this, the food video will come on learning to get more in touch in what you're going to be nourishing your body with, or what your body's asking to be nourished with during this time. And it's going to constantly change. I now this year not eating anywhere near how I was eating a year ago, let alone 3 months ago or 6 months ago. Okay, but that's my journey on this. So everyone's at different stages, but I'm going to tell you right now, as we continue to move forward, your body's going to be telling you louder and louder that you need certain herbs or in supplementation and certain foods to nourish your body, to help support your body, not just for energy and sleep and detoxification and just, again, to help integrate. That's why hydration is so important. Your water, you're mostly water, you're like 75, 77% water. Electricity needs water for conductivity. So for things to work on a more easeful and graceful way, why don't you give your body a little bit of support instead of going out and drinking the beer or drinking the wine or boozing it up all holiday system? Again, that is your choice. But I'm just giving you from this perspective. And maybe you need that, just that little extra, it's a loving, kind push to maybe just, and I don't ever suggest go turkey on a bunch of stuff because that's just like a shit show. So if you want to, start removing a couple of things a week, a day, a month, whatever. Go remove it and be consistent with that every single day. And then something else and something else. And then you just become, it becomes a really good just lifestyle habit. Excuse me. And you just part of your life. You don't even think about it. You don't miss the crap. You don't miss the overly toxic, perfumey smelling. Like I'm so hypersensitive. You know, if I'm around anyone that has a lot of cologne on, or if I'm in a space that has a lot of those like Febreze spritzers, or go into like a bathroom that's like just nothing but air freshener, I have a sneezing attack, I have a coughing attack. Instantly, that's another detox pathway. Your sinuses, your coughing, your body's trying to expel the toxins that are coming in. Highly, highly sensitive to that. And the more you clean house, your vessel, your temple, your castle, the more sensitive you're going to be. And that's actually a good thing. Okay, so this is just sharing some experiences, and I'm glad he caught it, and hopefully he listens. And I told him, I said, things are changing at a rapid pace. And I said, I know with loving and understanding that you don't quite understand what's going on, but your body is changing. And it's going to keep telling you louder and louder if you don't pay attention. And he goes into fear very easily. He goes into worry very easily. Even just sitting there trying to do some breath work with him, I realized for the first time that he has no idea how to breathe properly. So not just, that's not how you breathe properly. That's more of like getting into the way upper chest, and that's more of like a panic breathing. So I just like inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So start practicing just your breath work, especially if you're getting fearful or panicky, if something's coming up and you're getting heart palpitation, you're getting major breakouts or getting certain infections. Go into belly breathing, prana breathing, yogic breathing. There's different versions of counts. And then again, I very simply for him, I said, just imagine a bright golden white light coming in from your crown and cleansing your body. And then as on the inhale and on the exhale, blow really hard out of your mouth and imagine you're exhaling like a black or brown, dusty, dirty like vapor. Intention is a huge thing, okay? So that's another just an easy thing to help in a lot of ways, okay? So I continue when I meditate to like, okay, visualize as much as possible the cleansing of my vessel on a daily basis, and especially if I'm out in public and around things, around other people that are not idealistic, I focus on my spiritual hygiene and my physical hygiene even that much more. All right, 2144 on the timer. So that was the biggest thing I wanted to talk about. And again, if you want me to go into further and you have any questions, please comment below. I will do my best. Like I said, you can use things like activated charcoal, different essential oils like lemongrass, clove bud, that'll help you sweat more, detox baths for sure, saunas. Again, are going to be better than cold therapy for something like this. Hot showers, coconut oil, herbs. I already said activated charcoal, but things like a parasitic cleanse. Thank you, Spirit. They really want me to talk about parasitic cleanses. So we're coming up to the new moon, the cold moon for December. And I've mentioned this in other videos. The best time to do a parasite cleanse is around the full moon, because that's where they get active. And I'm not just talking about the living parasites. I'm talking about the energetic parasites. There's both. And doing a parasitic cleanse for about 3 months. So I would say that would be a good time. When I did a long stint, I started in like October, I think, last year, and went until like December, January. And I would do 3 days before protocol, 3 days after protocol. And I would take an herb, a capsule. You can get capsules, tinctures that has like clove bud, wormwood. There's some other blends, but you can look at what the herbal parasitic blends, cinnamon bark, there's all sorts of different versions, and just take those capsules. But again, take it with a binder, which is like activated charcoal is my favorite binder. I'm not a huge fan of diatomaceous earth or bentonite clay, but if you're doing that, you have to stay hydrated and be mindful. If you're taking medication and or other supplementation, you can look at that too. You can go and find the information on what's the best time around that, because it binds to everything, right? It binds everything out, and then but again, you need to hydrate to move those toxins out. The last thing you want is to have a healing crisis or Hersheimer's crisis syndrome, where you detox too rapid, too quick, and everything is dumping into your blood system. That's why it's important to always take a binder when you're doing any type of detox protocol, if it's just removing phthalates and perfumes and cleaners and all of that, because you want it to bind to something and to pull it out, okay? And take high doses. You can't overdo activated charcoal. At least I haven't found that you have. But again, do your research, talk to your physician. Always must talk, but a lot of physicians aren't going to give you these options. What does the ER use when someone's poisoned themselves? Activated charcoal. Coconut shell is the best, so look at that. Find coconut shell, really inexpensive. You can get it in capsule form or powder form. I'm heavy-handed, so it's easier for me just to do it, stir it, and drink it. Very helpful doing parasitic cleanses. So you can parasitic cleanse, whether it's living parasite cleanses, because you're heavy meat eaters and into fish and all of that, those are a problem and can cause problems. But energetic parasites that also can get attached to and get stuck in different things, that you can look into again and see that, and that's why practitioners can be helpful, like Reiki, like a different type of healing practitioners, to help you energetically remove those Probably could do it yourself too, but it's nice. Again, healers need healers. You know, we always need healers too. So that's why we're here to help each other. And again, just me sharing this information might help at least one person say, oh shit, maybe, So years ago, it was probably around, oh my gosh, we're 2025. Again, I lose track of time. Like, I've collapsed so many parts of me that I lose track. And I remember my first ever essential oil class that I went to blew my mind. And from there, that's kind of unrolled it. Now, was it perfect after that? No, there was things that just where it would come and go and be like, oh yeah, that's right. And then when I got into juice cleansing and green juices and using juicing and fasting in a proper way, again, you gotta know what you're doing. Work with somebody if you don't, as part of that process as well. So there's so many things you can do, and so many things that the ancients just did as part of their lifestyle that we have gotten so far away from. I know that's going to come full circle, but again, be mindful. And again, so if you're experiencing some of these symptoms, don't freak out. Just be mindful. So this has been going on, like I said, since I did the light language for that throat chakra activation. So I, again, did a little more clearing on my throat chakra and cleansed and purged some there as well. All right. So is there anything else that I want to or was meant to talk about today on today's video? Again, it's just been a lazy day today. The snow outside, just hanging out inside. We just got done watching Home Alone. I was going to give you some key codes. Thank you, Spirit. So key codes, just again, maybe just to help you resonate. This video might be for you, whether you realize or not. Your soul's trying to get your attention, to pay you attention to it. So just some key codes. If you see a peacock, if you see a large teddy bear, Care Bears has been coming up. Well, there's a teddy bear there, but sirens, like police sirens or just rescue sirens. I don't know why that came through as a key code. Home Alone, the movie Home Alone, we watched that. Feathers. Was there any other things I wrote down? I thought I wrote some other key codes down. Maybe I didn't. Okay. Numbers are 144-808-1110-20222. 222. So those are just a few key codes and numbers to pay your attention to. Keys is coming through right now. Treasure chest. And again, these are just signs, symbols, and synchronicities to say, hey, okay, this message is for me. Or you hear me say them and you see another message and you hear that person say it, then you know that that message is for you. Hopefully that makes sense to you. I'm going to pull one oracle card from the Earth Magic before I let you go and see what we have today. So that was from yesterday, the power, the lightning, the activations, the upgrades, and just love yourself. There's a reason why you're hearing a lot of us say rest, pause, renew, be still, breathe. This is a great time, especially if you're here at the colder months. It's non-guilty just staying in the house in your PJs all day, enjoying the time with your kids or watching some movies, you know. And it's not laziness. Your body is recovering from this lifetime and many lifetimes of nervous system. Your nervous systems are fried and they need to heal to be able to handle for what's coming in and what will be coming in. For us first wavers and the ones coming behind us. Okay? So your nervous system needs to be healed. You're going to be triggered. If you're triggered easily and different things are affecting you, you definitely need to do some protocols, detox protocols, nutritional protocols, maybe some fitness protocols, mind, mental protocols, meditation, breath work, different things like that. We need to be doing less right now, not more. And I know it's the holiday season. I don't know across the globe, but definitely here in the U.S., it's just a massive consumption, rushing, go, no slowing down. So if there's anything you can give yourself this season is present. Be present in every now present moment, in every situation, and give yourself full presence. Okay? Give yourself full presence in every moment. And that's, you gotta slow down for that. Take those sacred pauses before you leave the house. Take 3 breaths. Take 3 breaths in the car before you put it in drive. Take 3 breaths before you get out of the car and go into the work or to the store. Take 3 breaths before you come back home. If that makes any sense, okay? Activation and shape-shifting. Okay, and it's emergence. So I'm just gonna go with these 3 cards. Nurture yourself. Okay, so we're just gonna use this deck for a lot of messages. So activation. So a lot of us are getting activated. Some of you, this might be your first activation. Some of you, it might be your 5th activation. Some of you, it might be your 20th activation. I have no idea on what my number of activation is at this point. I've had many. I've had a lot this year. I had work done last night, and I will share that. Thank you. I was going to share that and what happened. But activations, we're all being activated, okay? And fast. So again, constantly getting activated, and some of us are getting more and more upgrades and getting more and more activations. Shape-shifting. I am a shapeshifter. Clouds. Excuse me. I didn't realize I was shapeshifter. Most of us here in the first wave are shapeshifters because we are not the same person we were yesterday, let alone a week ago, a month ago, a year ago, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, and definitely not 20, 25, 30. I am nowhere near. Vastly 2 different people and beings. But in between that, the amount of shape-shifting I've done through that entire, I couldn't even tell you. So that probably resonates with some of you. If you've been here and you've been reading, this card has come out almost every time I've worked with this deck. It's the emergence. We're emerging. So you've got your lotus flowers, your crowns of flowers. The dragonflies are very significant, okay? Emergence. And nurturing. Didn't I just say that? You need to nurture yourself. Love on yourself. Quit giving all yourself away to other people, places, and things, and events, and all that. You need to nurture yourself. And that means if you have the ability, hold up. Create a sacred space that you enjoy being in, whether that's a bedroom, a couch space, a whole space, and make that your own. And you go in there and you read a book, you meditate, you watch some videos that are going to what's the word? Some videos like channeling and things like that aren't the news, that aren't just certain things that are low vibrational. So you want to find things like just listening to different my words and my thoughts are just like gone right now. I apologize. It's just gone. So you want to nurture yourself by nourishing your body. Maybe have a cup of tea, have a cup of hot cocoa. Watch some movies, listen to some videos that are uplifting, some channeled messages, things like that. So nurturing. And I just love the art on this. You know, Mother Nature. And there's just the rainbows, the flowers, the mountains, all of it. So there we go. Celebrate good times. Come on. 3-3 on the clock. And I think I'll just call that. And hopefully this helps somebody. Again, please comment below if you have any questions about detox or detox protocols, or where you might be at and where I could assist you in that, because believe me, I got a little bit of experience in that, you know, personal experience and clienteles and then things like that. So you guys have a beautiful day. We will talk to you in the next one. Love you. Bye.